Hey guys, welcome to patch 11.9 notes. I'll be analyzing the patch for you guys, figure out what's the broken changes this patch and what's nerfed, what's good and what's bad. So let's get right into it. This is a little bit of a preview. A lot of jungle changes. There's a couple mid changes. It's not that big. And there's like top lane changes as well and item changes. I'd say the most affected roles are probably like top and jungle. Yeah, we'll get right into it. I just want to talk about what I think is the most important change on this patch, and I think everybody would agree with me here. It's Hecarim. Okay, big nerfs, less armor just in general. Q does less base damage, which is extremely important because the meta Hecarim build is tank Hecarim, and because of this change, he's not going to do any more damage. And I'll also go talk about something else, which also is a nerf to Hecarim as well, but not mentioned in the actual Hecarim section. His W, he heals less, unless he has bonus AD, and his E just base damage is like decreased by so much. Like, look at that, max rank 310 all the way down to 220. That's 90 damage, dude. That is nuts. And the final nail in the coffin for Hecarim tank build is well, there's actually two nails in the coffin. First one is this turbo Chemtank. The active, you only get 40% move speed compared to 60, which is very significant. That's a 33% decrease. And also, Dead Man's Plate gives 400 health, or 300 health instead of 400 health. That's big. That's Hecarim's like second item, so yikes. So tank Hecarim is dead. They want you to build 80 on him, but he's not really viable if you build 80 on him. So he's going to be out of pro play. Maybe he's still fine for solo queue. I kind of doubt it, but goodbye. Rest in peace, Hecarim. Bye-bye. Yeah, and then obviously a lot of new junglers have been popping up in solo queue and in pro play. Actually, I guess there hasn't really been any pro play patches right now, but in solo queue there's a lot of Diana jungles. If you watch any challenger solo queue, the most broken jungler in the game is Diana. They nerfed her attack speed a little. Doesn't really do anything. She's still pretty broken. It makes her clear a little bit slower, maybe like a few seconds, I don't know, but this champion's still broken. Mundo just nerfed, less AD, less armor. Same with Garen. Actually, Garen, he gets so his W, it's like stacking. Every time you last hit creeps or anything really, you get armor and MR per stack. They just decreased how much the stacks give each stack, but you still get the same amount of armor and MR. You just have to kill more minions, 30 more to be specific, as you can see here. Nerf to tank and support Gragas, just 5 less damage per level, I think. Yeah. Doesn't really matter too much, but I weirdly went over Hecarim. Random Heimerdinger nerf. I don't really know what this is for, but okay. Jinx Q bug fix. Her rocket launcher doesn't do as much damage anymore, because it did an incorrect amount of damage. Too much, actually. So I don't think it really matters too much. Jinx is still Jinx. Bonus AD ratio on Red Kayn, the one that heals, which is kind of nice. Doesn't really push him to the forefront of jungle though. Kindred, this is her third buff in a row actually. This champion, they're buffing the hell out of her a lot, so just 5 more damage per level, per point in her Q, and also a cooldown reduction by 1. It's pretty nice, I guess, for Kindred. So yeah, Kindred just keeps getting buffed, boys. Good for Kindred players, I suppose. More resistances are reduced with Kog'Maw Q. It's a skill shot. And then here's E. Okay, this might actually be pretty significant for AP Kog'Maw. But the E mana cost goes down by a lot. It's actually kind of big. We might see some like Kog'Maw mids pop up. What the hell? Yeah. I feel like AP mid Kog'Maw might come out. I don't know. But this mana buff is fucking huge. You know? Lulu buff for just support mid top, I suppose. Just more attack speed and lower cooldown. Morgana W nerf in the jungle by 15%, but I don't think this really does anything to her. I think she's still pretty good in jungle. If you guys don't know, Morgana jungle is a thing, yes, and she's played a lot in Challenger. So yeah, but I don't think this really does too much. Rumble nerf. It's to his overheated on-hit damage, so base damage is reduced and scaling is reduced because he's been overperforming in both the mid, the jungle, and the top lane. So I think he'll still be strong though, but yeah, this definitely hurts a little bit, I'd say. AD set nerfs. They want you to build AD more on set rather than just full tank. So they doubled the ratio on the W, the true damage shield, bam, you know. And then the R as well, they also gave 20% more AD ratio on the R, the showstopper. This is fucking huge actually for top lane. This is absolutely top lane and support. This is huge, okay? So Shen, you guys know Shen, right? Like he ults, bam, big shield. Before that, you only had AP ratios for the shield, but now you have bonus health. So 28% bonus health. Let's say Shen builds 2,000 bonus health. That is 560 extra shield plus 800 base. That's 1.3k, man. That's nuts. So yeah, Shen is probably going to be a lot more popular in top lane, especially in like pro play and maybe solo queue as well. This is a buff to Taric sustain. Q mana cost is a bit lower. I don't think he's that strong of a support though, like, so I don't think this really does too much. Trundle buff on the E, it just slows more by 12% at rank 1, but it ends at the same time, 60% at rank 5. Yeah, this is pretty nice for like ganking or maybe support Trundle, who knows. Vladimir Q, it was broken before, they just balanced it out a little bit. Not a pro play pick, but definitely a solo queue pick, so Vlad nerfed after getting buffed, but overall he's still slightly buffed because he's better than he was before he received the first buff. Xerath buff. Okay, this is kind of... So, to break it down, his Q has 10 less damage base, however, he gets 10% more AP ratio. So once you hit 100 AP, you just get bonus ratios like for the rest of the time. So this is, I'd say this is a buff. And then W, just base damage buff. You max it second, so pretty nice. It's just base damage buff and then ratio buff. So maybe we'll see some Xerath mid pop up. I don't know if it's actually strong or not because this champ takes a lot of skill. But we'll see, we'll see. I mean, this is pretty nice for Xerath plays, that's for sure. But I don't know if this is enough to actually like put him into the meta. We'll find out. We'll find out. I believe I already went on over Deadman's nerf. It's just 100 less health. Really blows for champions that like to run at people, like Udyr and Hecarim, that just like to sprint at people and run at them because you get 100 less health. Like the stats are important, they do add up, and then Turbo Chemtank was also nerfed. So yeah. Death Stance buff, just 5 more 80 and 5 more armor, pretty nice. Cost is unchanged, so yeah, we take those for Death Stance users. Not too many people use Death Stance unless there's like a lot of 80 threats. Okay, buff to Moonstone Renewer. They gutted this item last patch, but they buffed it a little bit again. But I still think Shirelius is slightly better. Depends on the champion though. Moonstone can be good on some champions. Like, it could be really good on some champions. Prowler's Claw, it's just like, so basically if you misclick with your Prowler's Claw, it will try to find the target that is closest to it, like prioritizing champions, and then like yeah, it's just prioritize the champions. So let's say you misclick your Prowler's Claw because like you couldn't click on the enemy champion properly, it'll still work. So this is just like a buff for like people that aren't as precise with their mice or their mouse. So overall it's basically unchanged though, but pretty nice, I guess. Sunfire buff, yeah, just 50% more damage on monsters, so you'll be able to make plays a lot more quicker and be on the map quicker when you farm. It does take a while to buy Sunfire though, like it's pretty expensive. I think it's like 3k gold, but this is probably going to be a meta shift in favor of Sunfire junglers as opposed to Turbo Chemtank junglers that just like to run at people. Wit's End buff, 10 bonus AD. That's pretty nice. That's actually really nice. Not too many people go Wit's End though, but this is a nice buff. Maybe like attack damage Twisted Fate is strong or something. Who knows? Ooh, Gwen. Og. Well, I mean, that's about it, guys. I'd say the biggest changes are like Hecarim and the Turbo Chemtank just run at you junglers, and then like other champions got buffed. But Diana, Morgana, and Rumble are here to stay as junglers, I'd say. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys all very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.